Get huge savings all summer long with the Buy Here, Sell Here program at the Team Automotive Group. Sell your vehicle to us and we'll pay you top value. Or buy here and get a 90-day warranty on the purchase of a pre-owned vehicle. Get Team VIP service at every location of the Team Automotive Group.
Few things in life are as valuable as family and peace of mind, especially when it comes to your final arrangements. And that's where Lee Serio can help. His prepaid funeral plans make sure your life will be remembered exactly the way you want it to. With Lee Serio, no detail is too large or too small. Call Lee or his wife Gretchen at 225-315-6329. Let Lee Serio give you and your family the peace of mind you all deserve.
Visit Treads & Care Tire Company's new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for over 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair and top-notch customer service.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
I'm Gary Rasponi. I'm running for Lieutenant Governor in the state of Louisiana. Why do I think I can do a good job, or even better than the current Lieutenant Governor? Because I've covered more of the state in 20 years. Y'all either see me in a boat, in a duck blind, at a festival. If you want to find out more about me and what I've done all my life, look me up, GaryRasponi.com.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
Hello and welcome as we start another edition of the Clarnce Buggs Show. Here's hoping all is well with you and yours in your little slice of South Louisiana heaven since the last opportunity we had to spend some time with you and yours. Before we get into the meat of the matter for today's show, little housekeeping that we need to get done, and some housekeeping we are just ecstatic to do. 19-year-old Zane, a real American, in the audience today for the live taping of the show, will be reporting to basic training soon for the United States Army. And my late father is just grinning up in heaven right now. Zane says he expects, after basic training, to be stationed at Fort Sill in Lawton, Oklahoma. If you know anything about yours truly, you know my late father was stationed in Fort Sill. And as a result, a couple of summers we spent there with my dad, because knowing he would not get to come home, so we moved the whole family to Lawton, Oklahoma. Zane, you are a real American, brother. So proud of you, and we know you're going to do well. Also, my man Lee and his darling wife drove all the way in from Rayne, Louisiana, the frog capital of the world, to come and be a part of our live audience today. I am so honored that you would use time out of your day to come and support what we do. Tip of the hat to you, my friend. We start today's show. If you are a young person, you may not have ever encountered this, but people of my generation, baby boomers, and particularly our parents, used to say something to us. It was sarcastic in nature, but you knew what they were talking about. The saying was, well, looky here. Normally, it was because some entity or individual told you something vociferously. They were just adamant about what they were telling you. They knew they were right and you were wrong. And then later on, you found out they were wrong and you were right. Hence, well, looky here. Remember when then candidate Joe Biden was running for office, and he said, and I quote, "Not another foot of wall will be built on our southern border." Democrats, liberals went on the war path, calling Donald Trump racist this, racist that. He's only building that wall because it's brown people that's trying to come in. Racist, 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 racist. Well, this week, the head of the Department of Homeland Security, Alejandro Mayorkas, came out and said the following, quote, "There is presently an acute and immediate need to construct physical barriers and roads in the vicinity of the border of the United States in order to prevent unlawful entries to sections 102A and 102B of the Illegal Immigration Reform and Immigrant Responsibility Act." So wait a minute. In other words, well, looky here. Look who's talking about building a wall. So let me get this straight. When Donald Trump proposed building the wall, he was a racist. So does that now mean that Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and Alejandro Mayorkas are racist as well? That's a rhetorical question. You already know the answer. You don't have to answer. You already know. Remember, we told you about this not long ago, that Joe Biden, in the first week in office, canceled construction of the border wall. Remember that? Took all the materials for the wall that you paid for and piled them up in the desert to rot. Then, months later, we found out secretly that he was selling the material for the wall at pennies on a dollar. So, speaking of rhetorical questions that you already know the answer to, guess who will have the privilege of paying for material for the wall after we paid for it one time? That's right. That would be you. The hypocrisy of this clown show of an administration is stunning. All the time they spent, we don't need no wall. That's racist. Blah, 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 blah. But now, all of a sudden, well, looky here. Look who wants to build a wall now. You see how they play you? They got your emotions all ginned up. Got your emotions all hyped up. I can't believe that man wants to put up a wall. He's just a racist so-and-so. And now, you turn around and say the very same thing. And of course, since this is the Biden-Harris administration, and since we all know it is a clown show, I guess they didn't realize at the time that they were coming out saying all of this, that they were going to throw one of their fellow Democrats not just under the bus, throw her under the bus, stop, put it in reverse, and run over her on the way back before running over her again to leave the scene of the crime. This week, esteemed member of the squad, along with AOC and that bunch, Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley goes on CNN to talk about whether or not our border is secure. And I guess she figured, I'm on CNN, they're all liberals, they're not going to hold me responsible for anything I say, and whatever I say, they'll believe it. So Jake Tapper, conducting the interview with Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley, asked the question, is our border secure? Quote, oh, no doubt about it. Our border is secure, and we're in the midst of a humanitarian crisis, and we have to fix a broken system. Jake Tapper then cut her off, trying to find out, did I actually hear you say that? His response, you think the border is secure or the border is not secure? You know what she said, right? Quote, yes, the border is secure. So Jake Tapper still can't believe that what every American knows and people all across the country can see, all across the world can see, our border's not secure. So he goes back a third time and asks, it just seems such a refusal to acknowledge reality, to say that the border is secure when we all know millions of people are crossing the border illegally every year. So the third time he poses the question, she tries to dodge the question. Quote, well, these are consequences of a number of things, ranging from climate refugees to people fleeing violence and corruption in their homelands before claiming that asylum is a human right. Jake Tapper, okay, it sounds like in there you acknowledge that there are millions of people crossing the border illegally, which would mean that the border is not secure. Would you grant me the point that the border is not secure? And like a real good liberal, she doubles down. Well, yeah, the border's secure. Walk up today, randomly, to 1,000 of our fellow Americans and ask them, do you think our border's secure? Do we have a problem with people just streaming in the country and sucking up resources and committing all sorts of crimes? Ask 1,000 of your fellow Americans that question today. You already know what the answer's going to be. But this woman is a congresswoman and apparently has no clue. Now, one of two things is apparently happening here. Either this woman is stupid beyond belief, or she thinks you are. I will leave to you to decide which one of these two things is true. But if you've been watching this for any amount of time, this reversal really shouldn't surprise you. That's what this administration does. They cause a problem, rail about the problem, a problem they started, and then want to appear to be the saviors to come in and fix the problem. Well, if you hadn't caused the problem to begin with, we wouldn't be having this conversation. But that, my friends, my fellow Americans, that is a page out of the liberal playbook. Cause a problem, raise hell about the problem you caused, and then want to sucker people into more money to fix the problem that wasn't there until you came along. Is that what you voted for? You can't make this stuff up, y'all. You can't make it up. Now, let's understand something here. If it were only Democrats that suffered as a result of the stupidity of their policies, that would be one thing. Lord, forgive me, because I'm supposed to love all of my fellow human beings. But there's a part of me because you know I'm honest with y'all, there's a part of me that's tempted to say, well, you get what you deserve. If it were only Democrats suffering because of Democrat policies, that would be one thing. But the fact of the matter is, my fellow Americans, all of us are hurting because of their policies. And to think anything otherwise makes me question your intelligence. Just saying. First break of today's show. When we come back, we'll bring you up to speed on some Louisiana news. That's next when we continue today's edition of the Clarnce Buggs Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Very few vehicles develop a community of ownership like the Mazda Miata. But why? Well, maybe it's because Mazda's been building the Roadster for over 25 years and there's never been a bad one. Or maybe it's because the Mazda Miata's been universally praised since its inception as one of the most fun cars to drive for the money. If you're looking for fun, affordability, and reliability, come see our Mazda Miata selection today and experience for yourself why Miata is always the answer. At Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda on Airline.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Treads & Care Tire Company announces its new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair with top-notch customer service. Treads & Care offers the convenience of shuttle service and pickup and delivery of your vehicle. You can also enjoy the comfortable customer area, complete with workstations, high-speed internet, and a complimentary coffee bar.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
Treads & Care, the tires you need and the service you want.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
Welcome back to today's edition of the Clarnce Buggs Show. I want to bring you up to speed on some Louisiana news in this segment. We just finished talking about the Biden-Harris administration. And, of course, by now, everybody knows the economic impact that Joe Biden has had on your wallets. That's a given. Everybody knows. Inflation at the point where dollars don't go anywhere near as far as they used to. More and more people in this country taking on an additional second or third job to make ends meet. When I saw this, the number was somewhat staggering. Did you know in Louisiana, 1 out of every 6 people have something in common? No, it's not what you think. According to our state treasurer, John Schroeder, 1 out of every 6 Louisianians is owed money from the Louisiana government. As a result, 80,567 people have a check that is due to them that the state is holding. As a result, in an effort to get understanding how tough things are financially right now, the treasurer wants to get this money back in your hands. And as a result, all the way through Friday, October 6th, they are going to publish the names of state citizens that the government, our state government, has money for. They will be printed in the legal notice section of newspapers all across the state. The names will be printed in every parish in the state, making it easier for you to find out if the state has some money that they've been trying to get to you. Now, you know, life being life, you move from one city to another, get a new job, move to a different town, and the address that's on file for you with the state treasurer's office isn't good anymore. So they sit there and hold the money while they attempt to find out where you are so that they can return your money to you. Right now, the state of Louisiana is holding more than $1 billion of our money, and they want to put it back in your hands. Now, you probably wonder, okay, how in the world is this that they've got all this money? Well, it's called life. Forgotten money. Had a bank account that you closed out. Maybe a deceased parent. You didn't know that that money's there. Maybe it's from stocks, from bonds, securities, insurance proceeds, tax returns, any number of things. Right now, there's over $1 billion just sitting there waiting for you to claim it. Now, obviously, you can't just walk in and say, yeah, I'm here for my money. You're going to have a legal ID. You're going to have an idea of where those proceeds stemmed from. But all of that is going to be printed for you in newspapers all across the state. As I forget the company that uses this tagline in their commercial, but it says, it's your money. You deserve to have it. Don't let this opportunity pass you by. Every now and then, and I want to say it was then State Treasurer John Kennedy that started this practice. Every year, they look at this particular account and see how much money is there, who it's supposed to go to, and they give us public notice that we got some money with your name on it. Right about now, I know full well, with the economy being what it is, with inflation being what it is under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, you could probably use some extra money right about now. If not, God bless you, I ain't mad at you, but I know I could use some, and I know most of my fellow Louisianians feel the same way. Don't know how long the process is going to take, but it is your money, y'all. And at the end of the day, maybe you're a big money baller. You know, you don't need that $1,000. You don't need that couple $100. You don't need, you know, for the record, I ain't mad at you. I'm happy for you. But when it comes to my money, I want it. Pure and simple. I want my money. And I'm sure you probably feel the same way as well. In other Louisiana news, this one actually encompasses, I'm tempted to say, the two most populous metropolitan areas in Louisiana, New Orleans and Baton Rouge, but I'm not quite sure I can make that statement because Shreveport may be in the mix as well. All that being said, in recent memory, you may well remember a deadly shooting here in Baton Rouge not too long ago at an apartment complex just off campus from Southern University. You may remember it because the young man that was killed was the grandson of a very famous New Orleans Mardi Gras Indian. George Hankton, 19 years of age, was shot and killed in the parking lot of an apartment complex just off Southern's campus, January 20th of this year. Landon Johnson, 18 years old, was arrested for first-degree murder, attempted first-degree murder, and illegal use of a weapon. Well, yesterday, BRPD announced that another 18-year-old has now been arrested for Mr. Hankton's murder. He was booked into the East Baton Rouge Juvenile Detention Center, and due to placement, the name is not being released at this time. This unknown 18-year-old was also booked on the same charges as his co-defendant: first-degree murder, attempted first-degree murder, and illegal use of a weapon. It is something that I guess it's not really all that perplexing, disheartening, but not perplexing. If you are one of those like me that is not afraid to call it what it is, the majority of crime, violent crime in this country, is committed by Democrats. Young black males. And as Joe Biden famously told us, if you can't figure out whether to vote for me or Trump, then you ain't black. Remember that? Now, all these young black men murdering one another, have you heard anything at all about this administration, Democrat administration, coming out with a plan to stop their constituents, the most loyal part of the Democrat base, from slaughtering one another on streets all across America? You don't have to answer. We all know they hadn't done squat. Hadn't done a thing. That's because they're too busy trying to convince you that white supremacy is the greatest threat to this country. If you want to find out whether or not that's a load of crap, here's what you do. At work today, in the neighborhood, random people in the grocery store, ask any of your fellow black Americans, do you know any black person that's been killed by a white supremacist? Ask 1,000 black folks. 999.9 of them will tell you, nope, don't know a one. Then ask the same 1,000 black people, do you know of any black person that's been killed by another black person? Oh yeah. But white supremacy is the greatest threat to this country. You do realize that is strictly an exercise to hoodwink, snooker, and bamboozle you. The problem is with their constituency. All these folks that we're talking about, murdering folk, robbing folk, shooting folk, they're Democrats. But in typical liberal fashion, the way to solve the problem of all these Democrats killing one another, the way to fix the problem is to take the guns out of the hands of law-abiding people who never shot anybody. Typical liberal logic. And yet, some of y'all still voting Democrat. Listen, y'all, listen. In the words of my late band director, the esteemed Dr. Isaac Greggs, understand me thoroughly. I am not telling you to be a Republican. Be a Libertarian. Be an Independent. Be no party. But for God's sake, y'all, don't be a damn Democrat. Just saying. Just saying. Bottom of the hour break. We'll be back as we continue today's edition of the Clarnce Buggs Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Get yourself summer ready with the award-winning lineup of Hondas at Team Honda. We'll help you find just the right vehicle to hit the road to whatever destination awaits you. Come shop the most awarded brand in Car and Driver's 10 Best history at Louisiana's #1 Honda dealer, Team Honda on Siegen Lane.
Every great story starts with the rush of thrilling gaming action. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Getaways for some well-deserved me time. And rewards worth bragging about. If it's a story worth telling, it starts at La Berge Baton Rouge. What's your story?
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
It's time to go where summer leads you during this season of discovery at Team Mazda. Transcend ordinary in the Mazda CX-5 or experience the next level of luxury in the all-new Mazda CX-90. Come by today and discover Mazda at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Welcome back to today's edition of the Clarnce Buggs Show. I would, if I had to put a title on this segment of today's show, it would be, you better watch where you get your news. In recent memory, I guess, maybe, Marty, how long has Fox News been around now? 15 years? Too long, Marty says. Fox News was at one time a legitimate alternative to the mainstream media. They would fight the fight against the mainstream media, like ABC News, which I refer to as always bullcrap. Then there's NBC News, which is nothing but crap. And the other, the BS, not to mention CNN LOL and MSLSD. They were the alternative to that. But if you've been paying attention in recent memory, I have to remember everything on television is the exact opposite. Fox News has been drifting more and more and more to the left. Ran across this article, and this shows you exactly how they play you. It is almost akin to subliminal seduction. You do realize, as a human being, people can influence your thinking and your actions in ways that you don't even comprehend at the time it's happening. Remember this clown Dylan Mulvaney that launched the whole Bud Light situation, the boycott. The dude that thinks he's a girl. Yeah, that clown. Well, this week, Fox News, mind you, in an article by a guy, Gabriel Hayes, published this piece, headlined, Dylan Mulvaney demands companies stand up to bigots and commit to LGBTQ partners after the Bud Light fiasco. You start reading the article, and about 8, 9, 10 paragraphs into the story, you start to see the agenda and the subliminal way they try to shape your thinking. Quote, she said she envisions, this is the guy, she envisions a trans woman on the opposite side of the saloon as a famous cowboy walks in and the camera zooms in on their respective high heels. Did you catch that first word? She said. Bruh, it's a dude. It's a freaking guy who thinks he's a girl. And the article is chocked full of, she said this, she said she feels her. It's a freaking dude. What are you talking about? And it is absolutely amazing that you made it this far in life to where you are now reporting for a major news outlet and you don't know the difference between a man and a woman? Of course now, Joe Biden is the one that brought us the first black female justice on the Supreme Court. And leave it to Joe to find the one woman, the one black woman in the entire United States of America that cannot define what a woman is. Well, I'm not a biologist. Remember that? And now, Fox News, of all people, following right down that same path. Now, if I didn't know any better, I would think that Fox News is of the opinion that you have no alternatives. You have to get your news from us, and that's the only option you have. Well, I beg to differ, my fellow Americans. Every single one of us is walking around with a magical device in our pockets that allows us to access at a moment's notice all of the knowledge that mankind has amassed since the beginning of our existence. It's called a cell phone. You can find out anything about anything if you have the wherewithal to look it up. Listen, y'all, there are entirely too many ways for you to stop yourself from being ignorant. Actually, I wanted to say ignorant. I know what I said, ignorant. There's a distinction made between being ignorant and being ignorant. Ignorant, for me, is simply, it's not a derogatory term, it is simply an absence of information. If you had the information, you wouldn't be ignorant. Now, when you have the information and you still think the same way, well, now you're ignorant. Some of y'all not going to get that till later, but that's okay as long as at some point you get it. It is a sad commentary, particularly for somebody like me, who has spent the last 43 years of his professional life trying to inform the public about things we need to know. So for someone who's in that business to watch what media has become now is painful. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Once you realize what's going on, well, then you have a decision to make. Are you going to go along to get along? Are you going to not want to make any waves? Are you going to resign yourself to, oh, well, that's just what society has become? Let me tell y'all something. My late father, God bless his soul, wore the uniform of the United States Army for 27 years. And if you have kids in the room, grab your remote and hit the mute for 5 seconds in 3, 2, 1. Sarge didn't raise no punk. And I'm not going out like that. I have a responsibility to my late father, my late mother, to myself, and my fellow Americans. And I take it seriously. I don't care what other people think. That is the furthest thing from my mind. Because every single day, I make it a point to educate myself. I don't wait on CBS to do it. I don't wait on NBC to do it. I don't wait on ABC to do it, nor do I wait on CNN LOL or MSLSD. Because I have seen with my own how they will lie to you. Every single day, I've seen how they will distort the truth to fit an agenda. And once you see it, then you realize, how in God's name did I believe these people to begin with? Well, that is primarily because at one point in our country's history, these institutions were almost sacred. They took their obligation and their duty to simply inform Americans and let them make up their own minds. They took that seriously. But now, unfortunately, like many other institutions in this country, they have managed to infiltrate and destroy. Look at our education system. Once the crowning jewel of the entire planet. And look at us now. We have children now that will graduate high school, children in college that will tell you, well, a boy can be a girl and a girl can be a boy. What in God's name were you teaching these children in school? Well, all you got to do is cut off a body part and poof, magic, you're a girl. Nah, bruh, you still a dude that just doesn't have what you cut off. That's all it is. And I, for one, will not begrudge you the opportunity to engage in fantasy, but I'll be doggone if I'm going to go along with it. No sir, no ma'am, no how. Ain't going to happen. So if y'all hear, man, did you hear Clarnce came out and said a boy can be a girl and a girl can be a boy? Somebody lied to you. I'm telling you right up front, they lied to you. It is absolutely amazing what we have allowed these people to do. And make no mistake about it, we have allowed it. Just imagine, if you are anywhere near as old as I am, I'm a boomer, proud 65 years old. Can you imagine what would have happened with your father and your mother if you came home one day from school and proudly told your parents that a boy can be a girl and a girl can be a boy? You would be on the Clarnce Buggs show. You and your people, we'd have had to teleconference them because your daddy would have been in jail by the time he got through with you. But look at us now. Can't blame that one on Trump. Can't blame that one on them evil MAGA conservatives. No sir, no ma'am. That is pure liberalism at its finest. Final break of today's show. We'll get her done, come back, put that big old pretty bow on this puppy, and we wrap up another week of the Clarnce Buggs Show only on the Pelican. Stay close. Few things in life are as valuable as family and peace of mind, especially when it comes to your final arrangements, and that's where Lee Serio can help. His prepaid funeral plans make sure your life will be remembered exactly the way you want it to. With Lee Serio, no detail is too large or too small. Call Lee or his wife Gretchen at 225-315-6329. Let Lee Serio give you and your family the peace of mind you all deserve.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
I'm Gary Rasponi. I'm running for Lieutenant Governor. What makes me different than the President and Lieutenant Governor? I believe in the divergence. I believe in what all the scientists have proven right now. It's really the only way to save our coastline, save our heritage, save our families, save our homes, save everything and protect us from the hurricanes. Should we save our homes or should we save a few dolphins? Look me up, GaryRasponi.com.
Tremonti's has meat. Tremonti's has seafood. Tremonti's has much more. Tailgating and home gating platters. Huge wine and liquor selection. Beer and all the spices you need. Chairman Reserve and Wagyu meats. Ribeye rolls, shrimp rolls, kebabs. 20 flavors of sausage for the grill. Daily lunch specials and game processing. On-site catering also available. Good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Visit Tremonti's.com.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready, and health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Okay, well, so much for the countdown, right? There you go. Before we get out of here, want to cover a couple of topics quickly. I guess, and I make light of it in saying this, but God knows it's serious. I guess there's something to be said for the old adage, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. I'm sure you've heard that before. Wherever it is that you happen to be at the time, it is considered appropriate for you to conduct yourself the way people there conduct themselves. So I guess that's what this woman was thinking about recently. 33-year-old Valerie Fagan from Texas happened to be in Baton Rouge when she got involved in 2 automobile accidents in a short span of time. And when police finally caught up with her, they could smell the alcohol and see that she was unsteady. So, of course, they gave her the breathalyzer and found out that she was 3 times the legal limit, which probably explains why she hit 2 different cars before they caught up to her. Did I mention she had already racked up 3 DUIs in Texas? But if you're in Louisiana, then do what Louisianians do. Listen, y'all. Life is uncertain enough without you going looking for a problem. There are so many things in this world that by pure happenstance, purely an accident, you can lose your life over. This is not one of those things. This is a conscious decision. Instead of going and purchasing your alcohol and going home and get as drunk as you want, you decide that you're going to drive. And of course, when police saw the reading on the breathalyzer, 3 times the legal limit, I guess protocol demands that you ask the person, "You been drinking?" You know, she said, I had 2 glasses of wine earlier today. But lady, you 3 times the legal limit. Of course now, if you blow 3 times the legal limit, and I expect to get an honest answer out of you, I guess I'm really the problem at the end of the day. Just saying. Speaking of problems, I'm going to help y'all fix one right now. Speaking of the uncertainty of life, you have already made plans for your final arrangements, right? You've already got that taken care of. I see you through the TV dropping your head saying, "No, Clarnce, I ain't done it." Well, that's okay. I'm not mad at you. But I can help you. You need to call my friend Lee Serio, 225-315-6319, 315-6329. Lee specializes in prepaid funeral plans. He's got connections with over 2,000 funeral homes all across the country. So if you purchase a plan from him, let's say your first grandchild is born, you want to move to another state to watch, witness, enjoy that new addition to the family grow up. They'll honor that plan wherever you go. Listen, y'all, again, life is too uncertain these days. Never before in my lifetime do I remember it being so accurate when people say, "Here today, gone tomorrow." Matter of fact, it has gotten so uncertain nowadays, it's like, "Here today, gone tonight." Don't leave yourself in that boat. Give your family, your loved ones, the peace of mind of knowing that when it happens, yeah, it's going to be emotional, yeah, it's going to be heart-rendering, but this is one aspect that you don't have to worry about because you took care of it ahead of time. 225-315-6329. And don't forget, I know this is uncomfortable for some people to talk about, but Lee is so passionate about this. The last Thursday of every month, I'm telling you now so you can make your plans, Lee wants you to come over here where we shoot the show, Old School Barbecue. Come and watch the live taping of the show, and when it's done, he will take your questions and answer them free of charge. Oh, and did I mention, since you're going to be here at Old School Barbecue, Lee is going to pick up the tab for lunch. Now that's a real Louisiana boy. Gonna feed you and give you good information and make you the hero in your household. Last Thursday of this month, y'all come on out and get that taken care of. And if nothing else, when the missus asks, well, what are you doing for lunch today? Well, I'm going over to Old School Barbecue. What you going there for? Blame it on me. Well, Clarence said I need to come and talk with Lee Serio so that I can give you some peace of mind. Now you go from being the GOAT to the hero. It's just that simple. Last Thursday of the month, here at Old School Barbecue, 10655 Coursey Boulevard, right here in Baton Rouge. Before we leave you, I want to say again a very special thank you to some folks that made today really, really awesome. We get to send a farewell off to my man Zane, who will be heading to basic training soon. And after that, we'll be stationed at Fort Sill, Oklahoma, Lawton, Oklahoma. It's you're going to enjoy that place, man. It's a good city. It's a good city. And if anybody gives you any problem, you tell them Clarence said you're supposed to take care of me because his dad was stationed here years ago. Additionally, my man Lee Hebert and his darling wife drove all the way from Rayne, Louisiana, the frog capital of the world. Next time, you got to bring some frog legs with you, brother. He came all the way over to watch the live taping of the show. There is nothing more gratifying than having people appreciate what you do. I say all the time, I don't care what people think. Think what you want. That's up to you. Nothing I can do about that. But the fact of the matter is, when people show up to support what you do, and you know they're not just flashes in the pan because they tell you things like, I watched the last segment, stupid. When they know the verbiage, when they know the phrasing, you know they're watching regularly. Thank you so very much, Lee. We appreciate you all more than we can ever say. Now, that being said, my time is up, and I got to go. But you already know the drill, so I'll say it anyway. This day, maybe more so than any other day in history, I give it to you. You are 100% correct. America, we are in no way, shape, or form perfect. But for this old boy's money, it's the best there is, and God knows there is no place else on his green earth that I'd rather be. Speaking of the good Lord, you got the email. I know you got the memo. You know by now that he loves you. And I hope you know that I do too. Best news you gonna get all day. There ain't a doggone thing you can do about either one. We'll see you soon. God bless. Thank you, brother. Thank y'all. Thank y'all.